Hey guys, I'm Catherine Davis. I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist. Today is May 1st, which marks the beginning of Better Hearing in Speech Month. So in honor of that, I wanted to share with you the scope of practice in which a speech language pathologist can work, because we have quite a broad field and you might not realize all the things that we can do. And I'm going to primarily be relating it to pediatrics because that's the area that I work in. And maybe you're thinking, something's going on with my kiddo. I'm not too sure who can help me with this. And it might be a speech pathologist that can help you. And then I'll tell you at the very end the avenues you can take to get to a speech pathologist. Below, I'll post the links to the American Speech Hearing Association website. On there, they have milestones and they have some definitions of different types of disorders. So you can get on there and see, is your child hitting those milestones that they should be, or are they falling a little bit behind? Should I be concerned in general? So all of that stuff is on the website, like I said, and I'll put those in the description below. Back to what a speech language pathologist does. Within our title alone, you hear speech and language, and that's it. That's not the only two things that we can address, but when we say speech, we're talking about speech production, how we actually say the speech sounds. When we say language, that alone encompasses a whole bunch of stuff. So how we understand what's being said to us, receptive language, or what we're reading even, or how we express ourselves, how we're stringing words together or writing the words down. Not only that, but also social language skills, which is known as pragmatics. We can address those, along with the most early developing language skills. So like joint attention, you and I are both looking at this toy at the same time and we're playing with it in a similar manner, or even gestures, nonverbal communication, facial expressions, those types of things we can address as well. So that's just speech and language. Another area is fluency, which you might be familiar with a little bit. Within fluency, we have stuttering and cluttering, and like I said, I'll put the links to the ASHA website, which will help define some of those things for you. Cognition, so memory, attention, problem solving, so some of those higher level skills. Voice is another area, especially being in pediatrics. I see some kiddos who demonstrate some vocal abuse, and they've built up some vocal nodules on their vocal cords. So voice is another area. Resonance, which is the way in which the airflow comes out when you speak. So when you say that sound, most of the airflow should be coming out of your nose. But when you say the O sound, most of the airflow should be coming out of your mouth. So that's resonance. That's another area. Being here in an ENT office, we have audiologists here, so we work closely with them, especially with kiddos who have hearing loss. So the skills that are impacted by that, and also kids with auditory processing difficulties. And like I said, I primarily work with pediatrics, so that's the area that I'm kind of focusing on. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is feeding and swallowing, because a lot of people don't realize that we can do that. So whether your child is a very, very picky eater, it takes a long time to get through our meals, we're having lots of issues there, or they have a hard time actually swallowing that food and getting it down, that's another area that we can address. When you think about a speech language pathologist, just think in school we learn basically like from the throat here up to the nose, like that's our area of specialty. And anything that can go wrong with that, then we can likely help address those skills. So I hope that answered some questions about what does a speech pathologist do, and will they be the right person to help me. If you do have concerns with any of these areas, specifically with a child, a couple of people you can talk to, and I always say this because I want to make sure that people know who they can reach out to. You can talk with an established care provider, whether that's a physician, a doctor, a physician assistant, a nurse practitioner, anybody that your child has established care with. You can talk to them about your concerns, or although we're not in school right now because of COVID-19, You can talk to your child's teacher, ask them about concerns, see if the teacher is noticing those concerns as well, and they can connect you with a speech pathologist at the school and figure out how to support your child. If you have any questions, as always, ask below. I'm happy to help, but I hope that gives a nice recap of what a speech language pathologist, mainly in pediatrics, can address. Bye guys, and happy Better Hearing and Speech Month.